100.
Welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday. And I mean Sunday, hot Sunday. I bet my man been out playing some golf. I know
I did go play some golf yesterday.
Did you get some golf in?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, man, this is so funny, folks. When I got he was 17, 18 years old. And I'm watching him develop, become a man. That's how long we've been together, folks.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, he just said, hey, Tony, last night I was at Buffalo Wild. We was watching the fights. And I'm looking at him like, what? Because he's becoming a man, folks. And that tickles me because if you don't understand, man, I've known this guy since he was probably 13, 14 years old. Yeah. Now he's a 21-year-old man. So that just makes me excited. But, folks, we're going to have a hot show. We got a couple hot guests, right?
We do.
Who we got today?
Oh, we got Coach Zoe over from Westmoore.
Westmoore?
And then we got Coach Bryant over from Moore.
Bryant's probably one of my favorite coaches, man. I love this guy, man. He's intense. He's just a great guy. He's coached from great teams. I know when he was part of that sophomore group, man, with Thompson. And them guys went out and did some amazing things out there at sophomore, but we're going to have him on today. He's a second-year head coach out now he's over at Moore, so he knows about the Moore War a little bit. He had Jonah coming in with his snacks and treats, pickle seeds. Like we in a baseball game or what? Yes, okay. Coming in tight, right, ready to go, folks. But like I said, we're gonna have an amazing show. We got a lot of things to talk about. As you can see, we got the helmets on the table. What does that mean?
It's football time. Week 0.
Week 0, baby. Week 0. So we'll talk about some teams, talk about some matchups. Talk to a couple of coaches, but we're going to get this started because, like I said, we got a lot to talk about, a little time to do it. So we'll be right back after what?
After one of our sponsors.
Keep it at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Right back.
Man, Dad, all this crazy weather has gotten our roof and gutters all messed up.
Good thing we know some guys over at Rain Down Roofing and Gutters. They can inspect and repair your roof and gutters and get in contact with your insurance company in 72 hours or less.
Call Jay Hunt at Rain Down Roofing and Gutters at 405-473-0674. No job is too big or too small for Rain Down Roofing and Gutters. Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Sunday, and I do mean hot Sunday. We up in the hot box. But, folks, what we do, man, we got week 0 kicking it off, and we got my man Zoe Williams on the phone straight out of Westmoore, Oklahoma. What's up, Coach Zoe?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Man, Zoe, I tell you, it's football season. We got Jonah over here.
Football season, baby. It's football season.
Jonah act like he's at a softball game. He got some Del Pickles.
Yeah.
Spitting in the bottle. You know he got no home. I'm about to get on the mom about his home training. You know what I'm saying? Show up late.
Mama's gonna go off too.
She gonna get off on you. She be
and a Pepsi.
Yeah, and a Pepsi.
Yeah.
Pepsi.
Today's cheat day.
Today's cheat day. I mean, I guess is why he looked the way he do, Zoe, and we look the way we do. But Zoe, I appreciate you.
Wait, Zoe. Did Tony tell you he almost got beat up the other day?
Man, see, there you go.
Oh, man. I don't believe it.
He almost got beat up by a dude shaped like a vending machine.
Man, Zoe, don't do that, man. We've already. hey, let's go, man. Zoe, you know the truth on that. You know I'm from 320 Eastbourne. Come on now. But Zoe, I know you getting ready for Union, man. But like I said, I'm glad you're taking some time. I know you in office with the guys working on the game plan for this Thursday night. Get the mic fixed, Jonah. You over here trying to crack jokes.
Man, I can't hear that.
Man, we can hear you. Man, you got to get him prepared, man. I've been taking care of him since he was 2 years old and still doing it. He's 40-something years old. Fix him up. But Zoe, like I said, I know you're getting ready for this Thursday night, man. You got Union coming in, the number 2 team in the state. You guys are ranked in the top. Yourself is like, man, you got to fix that. It's loud. It's all up in my ear. And you guys are ranked in the top 10 yourself. So, Zoe, as you get ready for this big game Thursday night, I know you're just coming off a scrimmage this last week. How do you think the team is looking so far?
Man, I think we're looking good, man. We're looking fast. We're looking explosive. We got some big playability. Our quarterback, Michael Graham Jr. is doing a great job. Just getting the ball to a lot of different guys and spreading out a little bit, which is allowing our run game to run into some light boxes. I think we averaged like 8.8 yards a carry against Mustang at the scrimmage or whatever. So our backs did a really good job. Offensive line did a great job. Defensively, man, we run fast. We're moving around fast. Got kind of simple defense. 3-3 stack kind of give guys some trouble sometimes because we can bring it from anywhere and everywhere. All at the same time. We got some dudes that can play some man coverage this year. So it's an interesting situation, man. Like we walking into this deal, we had 8 or 9 really great practices, a really good scrimmage. So our guys are chopping at the bits to get ready to go out here and see if we can do something against Union.
No, I know you got a chance to scrimmage just the other day too themselves. You guys are probably kind of going over that game film. Plus, what they got a little bit last year. I know they bring some guys back. They got two or three stars on their team that stand out. The quarterback is in was it Shark? What's his name?
Shaker Rising.
Yeah, Shaker. And then they got the defensive back. Was it Jordan?
Devin Jordan.
Devin Jordan, young man. Watching him on the film, I mean, what do you see? What stands out? Or what makes him so explosive?
Well, Shaker, man, does a really good job about, he don't zone in on one guy. He does a really good job of spreading the ball around. Like, even in the scrimmage we watched, almost every receiver caught at least 2 or 3 passes. So it's not – you can't focus on one single guy. Like, Geno Boyd is probably his best receiver. He got number 12. He's been there forever.
Yes, sir.
Finally going to be a senior this year. But that dude had a great – had about 5, 6 catches. But so did number 6. So did number 0. They spread it out, pretty good. So I know they do a good job with that. The coordinator's really good. Well-renowned guy. Does a lot of stuff in the clinic circuit about, passing his offense around, stuff like that. So he does a good job with those things. Defensively, man, they big up front. Linebackers are physical. The corner, Devin Jordan, is very good. Dude's fast, physical on the edge. Does a good job with his hands. It's going to be a definite challenge for our guys to be able to get our press coverage, be able to go and run a little bit and see if we can go make some plays.
So does he kind of line up on the number 1 receiver, or?
It seems like they just put him to the field. He's a field guy, But we're still looking at it right now. I think it's kind of based off of who the best guy that they playing against is. They want to put their best guy on your best guy. So, we could see some fireworks over there. The matchup between him and Marshawn Graham. That'd be a good look for us, and we feel like it's a good look for them. So, it's 2 heavyweights out there battling it out. One D1 guy, one guy that's trying to be D1, destined to be D1. So, it's gonna be a good matchup right there.
That's big time. You talk about your quarterback, man. He moves in from Southeast. It's always good when you get some young men that can move in. But, Zoe, it's happening everywhere. It's not just happening at Westmoore. In any other school, you got kids moving in and moving out. I figure like once the college said, hey, there's a transfer portal to high school, kids said it's the same thing in high school because you see these kids one day they're here and next day they turn around, they're going somewhere else. But, tell us a little bit about this, your outstanding quarterback. I know that you call him MJ.
Yeah, MJ. Yeah, his name is Michael Graham Jr. So we don't call him MJ because he likes Jordan, but he is kind of like Jordan. He can do everything. He surprises us a lot, man. I think just we know he's a great athlete. He's a good thrower of the football. You know all the things about him, but the things that kind of shot up a little bit in the scrimmage that we didn't know nothing about is like the off schedule stuff. Like the scrambling ability it's high level. It's not just kind of getting out the pocket. Yeah, extending plays. Finding people downfield. He don't look to run a lot, which is crazy because he's a 4.4 kid. You know what I mean? Wow. He don't look to run a lot, but he can run. But he also will extend plays and get the ball down the field to open guys. He wants to make the big play out every time he touches it. So that's more than anything, is trying to get him to understand, the flow of the offense and stuff like that. But I think that we had to realize that we can't limit his abilities by making him fit into a box. You know what I mean? So as we going through the scrimmage ports and going through practices, things kind of been opening up our eyes. This dude is very smart. He's a high-level thinker, in the moment. He's a definite moment of truth guy. So it's a lot of things there that you kind of can peel around a little bit and say, okay, well, he's changing plays out there. We ask him why he do that. He gives us a great answer. Like, okay, cool. Like, you got it, man. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So we're not going to try to put him into a box. We're going to try to let him get out there and spread his wings a little bit and go do what great athletes do.
Let's also talk about some of the other guys you got on the offense. I know you lost a couple of kids at some other schools, but when you lose one, the next man got to step up. So who are some of the guys on offense that has kind of stepped up for you in this off season going into the first game?
Well, I'd probably say Matt Evans is the big one to start off with because he's always been a guy.
Is that your running back?
For us, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's our running back. Always been a guy for us that's been a rotational guy, but obviously when we lose a guy running back, he becomes a starter guy. He stepped up tremendously. He's doing a great job. He's working real hard. Had a great summer. He looks different. He don't look the same as he did before. You know what I mean? Same thing with Jaden Williams, who's been a safety for us. He's going to get a little both ways. He's going to play a little running back for us as well. The 2 dudes together just, they really kind of took over the situation a little bit in the scrimmage. Like I said, they both together averaged 8.8 yards a carry. Multiple 15-yard runs, the yak, like yards after contact, just physical runners, stuff that we haven't had those kind of guys in a while at the running back position, you know what I mean? So that's a little different. On the defensive side, Keenan Estelle, the kid moved in from Mount St. Mary's, and we got another kid, Colton Bennett, who's been here for a while. Like those 2 dudes at corners, very, very much surprising me. Just being able to play man defense and being tough and physical. Chauncey Law is a name you're going to hear a lot. Number 1, he going to play some running back for us and play some safety.
What grade
But that
now?
dude, he's a senior. He's a senior. He moved in from Southeast as well.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna
That
say
dude is a different cat, man. That dude's 6'2", long, can run. I mean, he got a lot of high level abilities, man. I think he dropped 4 picks, but some of them interceptions he got in front of was just like, how did you even get there type thing, you know what I mean? So now putting the play, just putting those things together, it's gonna be good. Those are the guys who are surprising guys, but like for us, we got our tight end who's gonna be a dude, Zane Zeldin. He's a D1 guy. He's 6'5", 225, and out there running routes and doing great things, catching the ball, blocking his ass off on the point of attack. Our defensive line guys, Courtney Graham and Danny Fabaro and Devin LaCroix and just all those guys up front just doing a great job. Our linebackers is like, we got a lot of veteran returning guys, but those 2 linebackers, Connor Cavender and Tanner Falwell, been started since they was freshmen. They're seniors now, so they got a lot of Friday night ability. Connor had 189 tackles last year, which put him 7th in the nation. So I mean, we think he's just gonna come out and have another great year, and so is Tanner. So we got a lot of people, and then you obviously don't want to lose out on your OU guy. He's back there just doing things that OU guys do. You know what I mean? So
that's why you Power 5, baby.
Yeah, that's why he Power 5. You know what I mean? Like he making plays, and you don't like where did he even come from? I mean, he does so much stuff like that. That's just amazing. His ability is amazing. It's great to watch him. Glad to see him getting out there, the weight lifted off his shoulders by already committing, and then getting out there just playing great football, man. So I'm excited for these guys.
One thing about him, Coach Zoe, that kid's not going to miss a tackle. And when he hits you, you're going to feel it. Oh, yeah. I know he's, what is he, about 5'8", 5'9", 5'10"?
No, he's 5'11", man.
5'11". Okay, Zoe, that's with some heels on, but keep it at 100. But I'm telling you right now.
5'10" and a half, Tony. Don't give me like that.
Okay, 5'10" and a half. But I don't give a damn because I'm telling you, he's going to come and hit you in the mouth. He going to hit you, folks. He ain't going to miss a tackle. If I'm telling you, if he missed a tackle, boy, everybody in the fans going to be like, whoa, because the guy don't miss, man. So, Zoe, man, like I said, I'm excited. I know you start off with a tough game. Thursday night, everybody get to come out and watch you because you start the season off, and you got Union number 2. Everybody's talking about Bigsby ain't what they supposed to be. And Union's supposed to be the team. They got some players. They got some deal. But, I mean, he gave me some good information. Keywan Jones over there at Jinx is talking about, hey, he don't even think Union's that good. He don't even think the Jordan kid's that good. What was he saying, Big E?
He's saying that he was slow. They were playing in this scrimmage, which they were playing this team from Missouri, and they have a kid named Isaiah Mosey. And, I mean, he burnt him. But, I mean, Isaiah Mosey, he's a different animal. I mean, he's probably like a 4'3", 4'2" guy, and then, it's hard to keep up with a guy that quick.
Right. You get these daddies on this, and man, your kid ain't playing yet. Let your boy get on the field before you start talking. Your boy ain't even been cleared yet from BA, so let you do your thing. And I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be fun.
Wait, what you say?
Oh, you heard me, man. We keep it 100. Always have it.
Man,
that's what we do over here.
So
I didn't know nothing about that.
All that time you were running back to put to something else.
Oh my goodness,
but no,
man.
I mean, he just said BA's kind of slow on the paperwork, man. You know how that is, man. They trying to hold you out when you leave them, man. Everybody do. Some people shady, man. I get it. We can get on all kind of stories over here, but we ain't gonna do that because I'm trying to be nice. It's nice Sunday. It's kind of like the good Lord Sunday. I'm trying to be nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be nice, but I just tell you though, Zoe, with people, I mean, with Union coming in, man, this Thursday night, man, I think it's gonna be a great game, man. It's gonna be a great atmosphere because I mean, they are probably number 1. Really, probably should be number 1 with everybody coming back. Bigsby lost a lot, but Bigsby just win because they won 5 out of they won their 5th straight state championship. 5 out of 8 that they've already won. So it just tells you what type of team they are. But Zoe, I think this can set the tone for you right now because you look at your when you start looking at your schedule, man. You look at Union, then you got UConn, then you got UConn. I mean, I'm telling you right now. Hey, remember this name. Number 11, last name is Rogers.
I already know. I seen his daddy in Period A last week.
I'm telling you right now, if you don't know, he's one of the players I said keep your eye on. I got the googly eyes on him because the kid can go. You heard it first because, everybody want to talk about this kid and that kid, but talk about some of the kids that ain't getting talked about. We'll get into that till later on the show. But then you got Choctaw team that you want to redeem. I know you want to play them really good. Then you go to Moore War.
They said Moore got a deep front.
Yeah, they got a good team too. Then we'll have him on here in a few minutes. Then you got Jinx. Then you got BA. Then you got Enid. Then you got Bigsby, Norman, North, and Sophomore. Zoe, I don't know who you pissed off to get this schedule.
Yeah.
I hope it gets better for you next year. Because I'm telling you right now, baby. You better keep everybody healthy.
That's
everybody
the SEC right there.
Everybody, that's it, man. I mean,
I told you we played. I told you when you
So-
asked me about this. We played in the SEC West.
So-
We scared Georgia the first game of the season.
I feel sorry for you, baby. You got a game plan every week.
Yeah.
It ain't like you can't like, oh man, we got any week. No, you gotta be ready for
This
them.
is 6A1 football, man.
Yeah,
this
this
ain't
it.
6A2. This ain't 5A.
Yeah,
This ain't none of them other A's.
This
every
is
week.
this is the real deal. If you get out of here,
deal.
baby, you make. Hey, I'm gonna tell everybody, OSSA, whoever, athletic director, school board, or whatever, whoever makes it to the playoff, all coaches should get a bonus. That's just straight up. If you can make it to the playoffs with this schedule, every high school coach should get a bonus, and that's keeping it 100. Y'all got anything else before we let him go? Because I know he got to get back to game planning.
Yeah, you do have a tough schedule, but you do have a lot of guys coming back and a lot of talent on your roster.
Right.
So how confident are you going into this season?
Well, man, my confidence level is just kind of the kids is kind of steering the ship for me on that deal. You know, they've been having, like I said, they've had like 9 or 10 just amazing practices. I mean, things that I haven't seen around here in a long time. The guys moving around well, the communication, the love for each other, all this kind of stuff that we work on every day. So and then when you got veteran people doing it, we're not young, so it gives you a little confidence, it gives you a little boost. Now, obviously, I got a little bit more boosty after the scrimmage because I know Mustang's a really good team. We perform pretty well against them. And they're going to be pretty good too. So that's kind of a twofold thing. I know me and Coach Bryant should probably feel good about it, but that's a big jump off to start off in this situation. Like you said, you got to play Georgia first game. We playing Georgia the first game, so I'm not. Yeah, that's the truth, man. I mean, I'm just telling you what it is. So I'm confident in it, but I do know that this is not going to be an easy task. But if it was easy, everybody could do it. So I got big shoulders, man. We're gonna ride.
I mean, it's one of those things, though. You got to be prepared every week, man. And the biggest thing is keeping everybody healthy. That's the most important thing. Keeping everybody healthy, keeping everybody eligible. I mean, you can't have nobody do knucklehead things, man. And I know you do a good job at that, though, man. Like I said, it's a tough gig, but you know what? Somebody got to do it. And the thing about it, man, having that Bomber magic in you, if anybody can pull it off, it can be Zoe Williams, though. Like I said, Jonah, anything before we close out?
No.
Man, I
I
see
him every day.
You see him every day.
Yeah, Jonah talks to me every day.
Listen, only
Jonah,
50.
you ain't gave me no notes from the scrimmage yet, man. You ain't watched the
I
scrimmage
ain't
yet.
got a chance to watch it.
Which one?
Oh,
Which
man.
scrimmage?
The one he
The
just
Mustang
had?
scrimmage.
Oh, Mustang. They lost a lot, but you said, man, I looked at them when I was kind of reading over the articles about them, man. They lost a lot, but they got a lot of up and coming, though, man. And
Their young guys is nice, G. Their young guys is nice, and Coach Blanchard's doing a good job over there. So they go out. They can't roll up to the scrimmage with 200 kids.
I'm gonna tell you right now, do not. I'm telling you, anybody that watches this show, and everybody should watch this show. Every one of your coaches should watch this show. But whoever is gonna play UConn, be prepared. It ain't that old triple option no more, man.
Playing around, UConn.
I have to give it up to me.
Team.
Rogers was good. The quarterback, Holden Key, man. The kid controlled the game real good. And I know it was vanilla with Carl Albert, but Carl Albert got 6-7 guys going D1, man, and in some. So, and I know, like I said, I know it's kind of vanilla, and they played a lot of kids, but just to see UConn not run that triple option and throw the ball down there.
I wouldn't say it was vanilla. I would say it was base. But they really didn't have a plan for UConn. But the defense couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
It didn't change until they started giving the big man the ball.
But I tell you this, though. We talk about this real quick, but UConn's front offensive line was controlled the line of scrimmage. And when you can control the line of scrimmage, though, I'm just saying, though, so not only can UConn run the ball, they can also throw the ball. And they got a few weapons. But like I said, UConn's going to be nice, man. I like to get their coach on, man, and I know he was over at Norman North and some other places, but I just tell you, man, they're going to be nice, though. But I'm going to let you get back to work, man. Take care of business, and I'll see you this Thursday night, all right?
Sound good, man. I'll see y'all later, man.
Right, thank you, man. Thanks for coming on. Keep it 100.
Oh, the game's Thursday?
It's this Thursday. So you got to be prepared, man.
That's what you for.
Yeah, no. You come in with sunflower seeds. You ain't bring me and eat no snacks.
You can get some seeds.
Well, folks, that's Zoe Williams, man. Zona's mic, man. All the money he makes, he got to go buy him a new mic. But that's Zoe Williams, folks, the head coach of Westmoore, as he getting prepared to take on Union, which Unions is a salty team. They come in at number 2. But, it's so funny. Everybody talk about Union. They talk about Bigsby, but, everybody talk about Bigsby struggle against Muskogee the other night. But I tell you, Muskogee's the real deal if 6A1. I mean, small 6A. I mean, they're going to be a contender to win it all. When you got a quarterback like the Birdman, and he's throwing dimes, guess what's going to happen? He got some players over there. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't know what goes on in Muskogee because we ain't close to Muskogee. But I'm just telling you right now, Muskogee got beat up last year by Choctaw in the playoffs, right? You think they gonna let that happen again? Hell no. They coming. They quiet over there. They ain't talking. They ain't on no Twitter. They ain't on no Facebook. They ain't on no Instagram. They ain't on no Snapchat. They just coming. They coming like a silent what? Sniper. And when they come, you gonna know. Hey, I tell you here in a few weeks, you gonna see Muskogee firsthand when they take on Carl Albert. That's gonna be the battle. One of them teams right there. One of them gonna have a loss this year. Both teams got a chance to go undefeated. But I'm telling you right now, keep your eye out on Muskogee Roughers, man. They coming. Rough Riders. What else before we get Coach Bryant, man? We got a few minutes, man. Big E. What else been going on, Jonah? I know you come in late, but we're glad to have you. What you think?
Say something.
What you think about the scrimmage the other night, man? You know, we got this
Heritage Hall.
Heritage Hall.
The Andy Bass kid.
The Andy
He's
Bass.
nice.
Hey, he's a kid I got on my list. The player to watch. I got Kingston Rogers. From UConn, the receiver, just a junior. UConn's quarterback really impressed me. Holden Key, kid, he really impressed me. He's a senior. My man. I got them. I got my man Luke Sellers from Hare, wide receiver, defensive back. You got the Andy Bass from Heritage Hall. I think OU's offered him, but I found out he was the fastest guy in the state.
Yes.
Fastest guy in the state.
One or two.
Was it 10-1?
Yeah.
10-1, folks. I mean, I got to get him on the show because he probably went right past the show. That's how fast he is. But I was really impressed with Washington, two tight ends, Nate Roberts and then Cooper Alexander.
Big man.
Cooper Alexander is the son of Stephen Alexander that played at OU and played for the Washington Redskins. Yeah. So, he got that. It's cool to see guys that you played with in high school. Now their sons coming out and doing big thing. But I'm telling you right now, Washington got the two best tight ends in the state of Oklahoma. Maybe it's.
Period.
Period, man. I'm telling you right now, man. Nate Roberts. That kid is a man.
That's a grown.
He is a grown man.
He every bit of what 6'6",
6'6",
6'7", something.
And thick. And can catch.
Ugh.
Really? He nasty. But hey, I tell you that when I got to get up to Coach Don. That scrimmage he put together was no BS.
That was probably the best scrimmage.
Best scrimmage, man. If y'all can get a chance to get in with that, you need to come out there because you can talk about Heritage Hall. Oh, they're 3A. You can talk about Washington. Oh, they're 2A. Hey,
I think Heritage Hall was probably the best team at Heritage Hall.
Heritage Hall was good. Washington. But I tell you who really impressed me.
Tuttle
was good, but no.
What?
I'm about to give it up to Lawton.
Oh, yeah, Lawton was deep over
Hey, don't sleep on Lawton.
Lawton High?
Lawton was.
The Wolverines?
Lawton MacArthur.
Oh, Lawton Mack. Okay.
Lawton Mack, man. They look good. They had two QBs.
They're probably about 100. How many kids you think was over there? About 100 plus?
They thick, man. They come to play.
All them Army kids, man.
Man, I'm just saying. They're probably the best team in Lawton right now, but I just tell you right now, Carl Albert, UConn, there were just some really, really good teams, man. It wasn't none of that. Let's bring over Capitol Hill and U.S. Grant and Southeast. Not trying to knock none of them teams, but Don them through a good scrimmage.
Does Carl Albert have some receivers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got Trinae Washington. He's pretty good.
Number 7.
Yeah, he's got offers from OU, Alabama. He's getting offered all over the place.
They must have showed them last.
And then, so Trinae, and then you got there's another kid.
If they can keep big man's
they're good.
numbers, his carries down, I think they'll be all right.
The thing with Carl Albert, man, their O line and we both talked Dunn yesterday. He don't have to show much. He's a state championship coach. You line up and you can line up and be Washington Redskins with Joe Riggins back in the day, John Riggins back in the day. Line up and just hit you in the mouth and go score every play.
Saw when they started giving the ball to big men. Nobody want to tackle.
Nobody going to tackle.
The game changed. Quick.
X is. The only thing is that X backup. If it's Elijah Williams, folks, you heard it first on Keep It 100. This freshman, he would do some big things this year as a freshman. Elijah Williams, if he's playing
16, was it 16?
What you mean?
The backup.
Number 16 is K. Davis, man. He's a defensive player, but he runs hard too. He runs between the tackles. Elijah's going to be more of a shifty guy.
Out of the
but I'm telling you what, Elijah can hurt you too. If he's not playing, if he's not playing that running back, I'm just telling you, folks.
I would start him at H anyway.
Man, this kid is amazing. I'm not jumping on nobody, man. but the kid got game, and you gonna see it. You can be like, man, I'm just telling you when you see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have him on the sideline.
Yeah, he's too good. He's a
Especially you got
playmaker.
that quarterback.
Yeah, and even both quarterbacks, I got to get up.
They
to
both
Cash.
look good.
They both look good. It's a tough decision as a coach. You got to make. You got to start one of them, and one of them got to sit. But
I wouldn't even sit Cash. Put him out there.
But the good thing about it, Big E, is that.
You can put Cash at tight end.
I mean,
I mean, Cash is an athlete.
He's an athlete.
Right.
He is.
He
He's
ain't
pretty
gotta sit
quick.
nobody.
But-
You hear
but-
that, Coach Dunn? Put his butt at tight end.
Hey, but what I'm saying is that when you got two good looking girlfriends, you can date them both. I'm just saying they're
I
both.
didn't say that. Jessica, you hear that?
I'm married. I've been married. 19
Jessica, what she at?
He's stupid. I'm saying high school. I'm saying you got two good things. You got a Corvette and you got a Ferrari. You can drive them both.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it though. You maybe do that the first couple games. Then you got to make a decision. Go with one because I don't like two quarterback system. I don't think a kid gets in the rhythm. But what's the young man Sperry?
Yeah.
The kid got a strong arm. But you can't take that from Cash because Cash has worked. I mean, Cash.
I don't think it's gonna come down to arm. I think it's gonna come down to extending plays in the line. I mean, I know that line's coming
Who's
back.
smarter? Like
but-
who's reading the defense better?
but I
and
don't
stuff
see-
Like that too.
Not knocking the line, but I think that's their weakness, offensive line.
That's probably the strongest point of the team.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys
Yeah,
returning.
you got a lot of guys.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they are weak. I'm saying that's a good team, but
Yeah,
the
but-
weakest point of that team is their offensive line to me.
I'm
You don't
telling
think so?
that line. I
They
watched
couldn't
him-
block
I,
UConn.
Man, I mean, I watched him play Dell City when Dell City got a bunch
It's the
of
same.
the same
but
guys.
that's Dell
yeah.
City,
I know,
though.
but what I'm saying is that it's first games, 100-some degrees out there. I mean, I'm telling you right now, when you have that line in December
Right.
and it's cold outside,
Right.
them dudes gonna put them.
No, I'm not saying that they're.
That's my fault. Mess up the.
I'm
line.
not saying they're not good. I'm just saying that might be their weakness.
And you got to think, it's only 1 week of practice, though, man. I mean, I think once you get going, I think Carl Albert is probably,
yes, they get during.
I did
in the
say I
season.
thought Carl Albert was one of the top 3 teams in the state at all classes. I'm going to say probably top 5. I had him at top 3. I think Union's going to be the team in 6A. I think Muskogee, you got to watch out for Muskogee. I think Dell City, we'll find more about them this come Friday night when they take on the Yellow Jackets over
Gold
at the
standard.
over at the what they call it now, Death Valley.
Death Valley.
At the Death Valley, man, with the
Why?
new screen.
Why is it Death Valley?
I don't
I
know.
don't know, but it's
Did
called
they
Death
win?
Valley.
They won state last year, didn't
Who?
they? Choctaw.
Oh no, they came in second.
Oh, Death Valley. Huh?
Yeah, but I mean that's what they want to call it. But I'm just saying, I mean they got a quarterback battle over there with Cash Williams and Landon.
Who's Landon? The dude out of Guthrie?
The Guthrie young man. I think they got 2 nice little running backs, man. And the clips I saw, Sand Springs is the team, man. I mean, their quarterback just a sophomore, and he did some nice things against Choctaw. But I think once Choctaw kind of get everything together, I mean they'll be fine. But I think Dell City. I think Dell City is a team.
How they looking?
I think Dell City.
They're going to be pretty good.
Man. I mean, when you got one of the best, I mean, everybody can talk about Xavier being one of the best backs in the state, but you got Oklahoma.
They got the Oklahoma State commit.
Man, I mean, that Fields kid, man. I mean, it's hard to cover him. And River got some weapons, man. And you got to think they moved some of the kids out from that was running back to slot receiver in Green and Brandon.
When they played last year.
I mean, and their defense is gonna be nice, man. I mean, they got McAllister moved him back to linebacker. You got Aaron Carter back. I mean, they're nice, man. I mean, and one thing now, Jones don't have to worry about calling defensive plays. He got Kelly that's gonna call defense, so Jones can sit back and have his hand in the cookie jar at every position. So it's gonna be really interesting. But like I said, we could talk about some of this stuff, but we're gonna bring on Coach Bryant from Moore, man. I'm excited about having him on, man. Just a really good guy. Had a chance to coach my boys, so we'll be right back after what?
One of our sponsors.
Keeping it what, Jonah?
100.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. 100. Be right back.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. And on the phone, we got Coach Bryant head coach over at Moore. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm good, Ethan. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. How are things going over there in Moore?
We're good. We're getting ready for game one against Memorial.
Yep.
Got figuring out practice schedules and altering that stuff currently right now as a staff with the heat and whatnot. But we're just roll with punches right now and get the best practice we can.
Right. So what does OSA say? Do they kind of jump in and get on to that, or you guys gonna do that as a staff and say, hey, I know somebody texted me the other day and said, hey, Tony, you think they'll move the games back to start time to 7:30, 8 o'clock, just to try to beat that heat on Friday night? What do you think, Coach? Yeah,
it's a little bit of both. It's also district policies as well. It's a little bit more. Moore's been pretty upfront as far as looking out for the safety of the players and whatnot. It's hot outside. And it's hot everywhere. And but yeah, games have already been pushed back. If you haven't, that will be getting out pretty soon at a lot of places. And it really is. If you're practicing the heat, you're cutting practice down because if you have no restrictions, the kids are human, coaches are human. It get tough out there being that hot. So, but we're our district and OSA, we have. We have certain things that we can't be outside at certain temperatures and whatnot.
Oh, that's big time. But Coach, I know this is your second year, man. Last year you had a little success, and I know coming in a year or two, you kind of get your hands on everything. You know a little bit more about the city, the town, which you already knew that anyway because you was over at Sophomore at one point in time. But coming back, you come back with one of the best juniors in the state. You got C.J. Simons, one of the top juniors in the state. On both sides of the ball. And then I guess you got, Mr. Crenshaw's he's another top player that you have. So what are some of the guys? I know you lost your quarterback, Wolf. He's moved on and doing bigger, better things. But, name some of the players on your offense and defense that's going to help you be prepared. Because I know Robert said he scrimmaged you the other night, man, and he just sat there and said, do not sleep on Moore. They will be in the playoffs. He goes, man, they're big up front. So I know you're a great coach.
Well, I appreciate that, Tony. And Robert and Del City has reloaded, and they have a very talented team as well. So it'll be exciting to see what they do as well. Last year we have a lot of returners coming back from last year's team. In a lot of situations, we had very young players going through varsity reps, and sometimes it works out, but most of the time it's trial by fire. So. We had a great off season, and all those kids have gotten bigger, stronger, faster, and they're, that mental maturity is probably the biggest thing as far as how to prepare for competition. But you talk about players. C.J. Simon he's the standard as far as he's a tremendous player. But what people don't see is how his work ethic off the field, not being on the field, but in the weight room and everywhere else. Great teammate. Mekhi Crenshaw certainly this offseason benefited him tremendously. He's grown about 2 inches, put on another 10 pounds of muscle. We have a quarterback, Malachi Miller, he was a sophomore at Edmond Santa Fe last year. He's come about as being a playmaker and really stepping in. We had a really good quarterback, Denver Wolf, who set a lot of school records, and we like to be able to keep that quarterback position multiple and where they can do run and pass. And Denver, one thing about him last year, he was all-state game, but he broke his foot game 4, and he's tough as nails, and didn't say much. He had not exactly sure which bone it was, but it was something he just went on, and we knew something was up, but he just kept on pressing through, and he had a little stress fracture in his heel, I believe. But offensive lineman Noah Wood, he's a returning offensive lineman that started last year. Cohen Garner, Seth Freeman, our center. He's also one of the top deep snappers in the nation. Grayson Gruber at left tackle. And then right now we have a couple of guys, Jackson Forney and Benicio Ortega, for our offensive line. Defensive line, we have several guys that played a lot. We had more experience at our defensive line position than we did last year. Ashton McKenzie and Kai Campbell and Hayden Stoll is an upcoming junior that's going to be a big time player. He does a lot of things with some of the big time DNs that I've had the opportunity to coach. He models a lot of the same type of movement. But DBs, all of our DBs, defensive backs, safeties, corners, a lot of returning. Corey Dean's probably he's the senior leader as far as his stock has gone up as far as what he's done. He's a 21-200 type athlete, 40-inch vertical, and does a lot of things. And last year he had a break in his football, and last year he's getting back into the varsity groove. And he talked about a kid that's transformed his body and just the way he goes things in the off season. So we feel really good. We have a kicker that's just committed to the University of Oklahoma. He's nails from 45 in. Yeah, so like it's something that's pretty comfortable having guys like that on your team.
So, Coach, you talk about, you always been a defensive, mind coach, but now being a head coach, you got to do both sides of the ball. Do you spend more time on defense? You spend a little time on offense, or you just kind of just do 50-50? You just a little bit got your hand in the cookie jar everywhere.
Well, a little bit everywhere, I guess. Naturally, I work with defense more than the offense, but we have a really talented defense coordinator, young, just turned up and coming guy. I guess I've known him forever, but I just realized he's only 35 years old. But Brandon Morris, he was a defense coordinator at Oklahoma Baptist for the past 3-4 years. He was an assistant there for years, and he's very, very talented as far as what he does. Great with players, great with the staff, very organized how he does. So having a guy like that allows you to step away and just see what the offense is doing, so you're not totally embedded into what defense is doing period to period.
That's big time. But Coach Bryant, like I said, man, I know you were excited about being a head coach, and what you got more going in the right direction. And like I said, you got some of these guys like CJ. You still got him for another year. It seemed like you had a good quarterback that just moved in. So I remember that young man from Santa Fe. He's a real shifty, and he can throw the ball. I remember watching him when he was a freshman. I think he got his chance to play for Santa Fe. But it just kind of tells you, like I said, Wolf was a guy that that he didn't have to really do much. He could probably call his own plays, knew the offense like the back of his hand. But I know with a new guy behind the scene, and you open up with Edmond Memorial, I know you guys are kind of game planning from right now. What's it going to be like going into this Friday night against them?
Yeah, week 0. As far as preparation, regardless of the team you're going into, this past 2 weeks have been it's a tornado. You do all the stuff in the summertime. You do a bunch of stuff, 7-on-7 and whatnot, preparing to get to this. And we start practice. I think what was it, August 7th? Yes, sir. And August 7th, it seems like it was, a year ago from now, as far as much we've done. But you want to go out to week 0 and limit your mistakes and your own misdoings. You want to be able to operate and execute the best you can, and limit the things that what we do wrong. And then you add an opponent that's well coached, plays hard, like Edmond Memorial. You want to make sure you're in the best shape you can be, the best team that you are for week 0. So there's a lot of preparation and making sure everything works and everyone's playing with high effort.
Well, Coach, I'm sitting here looking at your schedule. You start off with Edmond Memorial, then you got Edmond North, then you got Norman, then you got Westmoore, Moore War, then you come back with Enid, then you have Southmore, one more part 2, then you got Jinx, Norman North, Bigsby, and BA. Coach, I got to ask you one question. Who did you piss off? That schedule is, I'm telling you, we had Zoe before we had you on, and I told Zoe, if you guys can make it to the playoffs with that schedule, everybody on your staff should get a bonus.
Right.
Hey, Coach, you guys are playing the SEC, dude. Coach, you don't get a break. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't get a break, man. Your poor wife, man, she might not get to see you, until after football season. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's. We have a tough schedule, and that's where, regardless where you're at, it doesn't get easy, and that's where you want to do everything that you can on the front end to get your team prepared and know and have all the answers you have going into the season. So you're making those adjustments on the weekend, and it's not just groundbreaking. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a big season ahead.
Man, it's tough. Ethan, you got any questions?
I was gonna say something real quick.
Yeah,
Hey,
go
Coach,
ahead. That's Jonah.
I've coached Westmore's little league, kind of like their little farm league, I guess you would say. And you got some talent coming up in your 7th and 8th grade, I think 9th grade. What's your thoughts about that? Like your talent that's coming up? So I think you'll be pretty good.
Yeah, we're excited. That's one of the first things coming over here. Is establishing our Little League system. It wasn't really associated with the school beforehand,
right?
And with that is that talking with the youth coaches and it's really cool to see when you have your 5th grade, 6th grade teams, and you know how your 7th grade and 8th grade will be coming up. We have a talented 9th grade class right now that was very successful as juniors. I know the 8th grade class at one of our junior highs was very successful. Highland East, was very talented, and that's where that's the whole entire mentality of building it from the ground up. Is not just wait till 10th grade year to implement all the things you do. We want to build to our first graders, or we have 150 little lions out there from grades 1 through 6 playing football right now. We do passing league in the spring. We do camps in the summer. We had a big turnout for our. So it's football is a great sport because it involves a lot of people in different backgrounds and whatnot. So that's been one of the most fun and also hard work as far as getting that stuff organized, but it'll pay off in the future.
I see if he can keep that 7th, 8th, and 9th grade class, I see playoffs, maybe even state.
Absolutely.
Like that team is cold. Like Reggie, remember a little Reggie track, that little squad.
That one team that we played on 707.
All that Venom.
Yeah.
All of them going to more. If he keeps that team.
We did a little 707 team. They were 8th grade going to ninth grade. Moore had a team, had a really good little quarterback. He'll be up and coming with you guys. I don't know his name, but I mean that little team was good. They had a bunch of good little receivers. I don't know where they all, because they were the Moore Lions. I don't know where they went to middle school, but I'm telling you right now, I was impressed with those guys. Man, they had 2 or 3 receivers. Quarterback threw the ball real good. We ended up beating them the last game because he was out of town, so we kind of got lucky.
Right.
But what you got coming up, and in the near near future, like you said, is really great. But Coach, before I let you go, I was going to ask you, real quick. Go ahead, Heath. You got something to ask him?
Go ahead.
I just want to ask you, Coach. You talk about you got a new quarterback that moved in. As you seeing that more and more across the high school board, kids are moving and going to different schools. It's kind of like the college. I know you've been coaching for a long time, and it's something that you're probably seeing more that you ever seen before. Is it kind of different now to see a kid that one day he might be here, the next year he's at a different school?
Well, I mean, it's always happened, I guess. Maybe it gets a little more exposure with social media and stuff that's been talked about, and kids are able to be tracked. I mean, I can remember back when I was playing way back, there were, kids moving from one school to another. Just it doesn't have a Twitter follower that comes with it. So the OSA still has their rules as far as moving and whatnot, and it gets vetted out through administration and I guess, maybe they're moving, but I'm not sure if it's more or less. But I do know it's more aware of kids moving.
Yeah, well, that's true. Big E.
Yeah, what are some things that you going into your second year? What are some things that you kind of learned in year 1 that you're going to bring over with you into year 2, or maybe some things that worked for you in year 1 that you don't think will work for you in year 2?
Year 1, year 2, I mean, especially as a first-year head coach, I was a long-time coordinator at Division II, a long-time coordinator at high school, and no one's going to prepare. Nothing will prepare you for this job until you're in the job. So, going from year 1, year 2, it's about finding the groove of the job as far as what you do day to day and how and whatnot. And the big thing that I had with this was that I had the luxury of having the full off season from December to all the way through where we're at right now. So that continuity and having that relationship with the coaches and players, we lost one coach in the off season because of his Army duties. He's Army Reserve, but all the coaches are back. And Bill will have that, and Bill will have, kids know who I am and who are coaches and we know who the kids are. And Bill to have those expectations that you set in year one, we can continue to evolve as far as what we ask from each other.
So, Coach, what's it really like? I was a bomber back in my young days. Long time ago, but
in the 1900s.
1900s. But what's it like, the Moore Wars, because, not only do you have to play Westmoore, but you play Southmore. And I remember us playing Dell City, beginning of the season. So what's the Moore War like? Is it really like, man, I can't say that with those people across the street, because Moore is not like it's a huge city, but I know you see a lot of those people at the Walmarts and the Sam's and all those kind of things. So, what's it really like coaching in one of those games?
Yeah, it's everything above. I was never part of a rivalry like this, and when I was at Southmore, you knew of the game, but you didn't. It's just different from anywhere else that I've been as far as going to, and it's not just a Friday thing, but it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's some theme. There's a theme at school, and there's love for the community. It's a great game to have. You want to embrace everything about the game, but it can also, just like those games, you can have a lot of things that will take you off your focus. So you want to make sure keeping everyone locked in and doing what it takes to be as successful as you can. But it's a big game. It's awesome. I love when people are from the community that don't really have a son and daughter that's involved in the game. They still come to the game, and that's what Moore War is.
That's it. That's what it's all about. Well, Coach, man, I appreciate you taking your time out, because I know you're getting ready for Edmond Memorial this Friday night. You kick off your second season, week 0 against Edmond Memorial. I know you're looking for a big season. Like I said, having some of those guys you got, man. Like I said, talking to Robert just the other day, man, and he was like, man, I'm telling you right now, do not sleep on Moore. And that's good to have, because no one really knows what you got, because, last year they knew you had Wolf, but, they know you got CJ, Simons, which is one of the top players in the state. But the way you coach and the way you get down and get guys fired up, you're going to have them ready for each week. Guys, you have anything else before we let them go?
No, just thank you for coming on, and good luck this season.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, folks, that's Coach Bryant out of Moore, man, second-year head coach, man. I had an opportunity to have my boys play for this guy, young coach. I guess call him young because I'm old. But I'm saying he's
great
a
defensive mind. He really is.
Great. Really, that's why I asked him. Now you're a head coach, because he's always been a defensive mind. He was there when Sophomore had those good teams and played Jinx in the semifinals. So he knows what it takes to get there. He knows about these teams. Like I said, when I asked him, who did he piss off, and didn't ask him to beat me, but I'm just saying him and Zoe, man, that's just a tough schedule. It really is, man. Zoe made it last year in the playoff 3-8, but if Coach Bryant beats Zoe in that game, he gets in the playoffs, and Zoe don't. So it's going to come down to that game in the sophomore game, and you got to beat Enid. You're going to have to knock off Norman or Norman North. You got to knock off a team you're not supposed to knock off, a Bigsby Union. It's going to come down to that. But guys, since we're in 6A, let's kind of go through it real quick. We got Bigsby at number 1, Big 6A. You got Union at number 2. Like I said, we know Bigsby lost a lot of guys from last year. They won their 5th state championship, but when you lose a Connor Kirby, the guy had over 3,000 yards for you, 46 TDs, and Lou Hates at the University of Arkansas now. They got to rebuild. They lose everybody in their secondary, so Coach Cole, you have to replace everybody in that whole secondary. But Bigsby's always going to be Bigsby. Granted, how they looked at Muskogee, that's it, plug and play. But it's kind of like Muskogee. Everybody's like, well, Muskogee game was good. Well, Muskogee might be really good this year. Not that Bigsby's down. Muskogee might be really good. No one looks at that. Then you got Union that
it was just a scrimmage.
It was just a scrimmage too. And Muskogee's probably. Bigsby's probably trying to figure out some guys and put them in the right place. You lose your quarterback. Like I said, he was over 3,000 yards for you, 46 TDs. That's a lot, man. So You don't go pick him up at Walmart and order him at Sam's and they go pick him up. That's my wife's right now. That's why I said that. Hope she gets my grapes. But I'm just saying you gotta you gotta have the next man up and ready. I tell you real quick though, I think Coach Bryant got to steal with that quarterback though. That Santa Fe kid's pretty softy, man. I watched him play, man, and I mean Santa Fe. I don't know what they're doing. They lose a running back to Chata. They lose a quarterback to Moore. It must be because I'm just saying, man. I mean, and they got them in the top 10 too over here, but they must not have knew about them guys leaving before they put them in this top 10. You got Union, they come in with the quarterback and the weapons they got, man. So they come in at number 2. They return 4 starters. I mean, Devin Jordan will be one of the main, and Isaac Coverton. I mean, some of those guys are some big names that stand out. Jordan has offers from OU, OSU, Alabama. Keywan can call him slow all he wants, but I'm telling you, he's holding some big time offers, man. I mean, so it kind of speaks for itself. We talked to Westmoore. I mean, you got Norman North. They coming in at number 5, leading the way. I mean, they have to, leading the way at QB will be Owens. What's that? Esselman?
Good enough. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, Esselman. He's gonna replace my man Six Killer, but
Six Killer.
Yeah, Six Killer. Hope he's doing big things in college. Broken Arrow. I mean, they come in at number 6. They'll get their big first test against Vintonville, Arkansas. You got Westmoore. They open up with Union, man. You're gonna find out where they at, and that's gonna be on TV. So I mean, if you got there and get blown out, people gonna be like, that's who they are, who we thought they were. So
I think if he has depth, he'd be okay.
So
yeah,
you think he will?
Yeah, if he has depth.
You think he'll be fine?
If he can get out of that game, a close win or lose by 2 touchdowns, 10 points. Yeah, that's a good game.
But then you got Mustang, which he scrimmages. So both teams look good. I know Westmoore lost a lot, but I tell you right now, just reading about them, they got some guys that's going to replace in that powerful offense. I think they're going to still be good again. Then you look at Santa Fe, like I said, they come in number 9. Don't ask me how, because they must not have read the notes because they lost a lot of guys. Then you got number 10, Edmond Memorial. And I mean, I'm gonna put Moore right there at number 11. They'll face each other this Friday night and find out what's going on. But real quick, let's get into a couple things before we get out of here. You got the Yellow Jackets up there. They still haven't announced the quarterback. You got the Landing kid, young man, and you got Cash Williams. I saw clips of both of those guys, man. I think whoever. I mean, and I tell you right now. Coach, offensive coordinator, coach, has been spoiled because when you got a guy that's led you for the last 3 years, right, and then you got to replace him with a whole different guy. I don't care if that guy's been in the system, did good in backup games. Those are mop-up times. Now when the lights is on, it's your turn to spin the ball and throw the ball and call the play and run the play. It might be totally different from when that man was doing it because once you beat. It's
easy to come off the bench.
Huh?
It's easy to come off the bench.
Well, I mean, a lot of times if you're defeating the team already 55-0, then you come in the game.
Right.
It's a little bit easier for you now when you starting the game and from kickoff to kickoff return and all that, and now the ball goes boom. Now you calling the first play, it's a whole different ball game. So, you look at these two teams. I mean, I think they're one of the top games of this week. You got Dell City, and you got Choctaw. What's your words on Dell City Choctaw, Jonah?
I think it's evenly matched. It's gonna come down to coaching, like it always does.
Yeah.
You got 2 coaches that are kind of aggressive. Whoever can be aggressive and smart. I mean, you call your timeouts, you kick your field goals, punt the ball when you're supposed to punt. I mean, do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
E, what do you think?
Pretty much along the lines of what Jonah said. I think there's a lot of talent on both teams. It'll be a pretty good game. I see it being pretty close, as it has been the past few years between those two teams. But yeah, I think it's going to come down to coaching and penalties. Whoever can limit penalties.
There you go.
That's playing smart.
That's
so
penalties. Those penalties was in the drive.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, you see it all the time in these NFL games, man. It's 3rd and 15. The guy jumps off sides. Now it's 3rd and 10. They jumps off. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now they get the first down. They extended the drive. But I think. I'll get an edge to Dell City. The only reason I said it because you got a quarterback in River Warren that's played in some of these big games. We watched him against Carl Albert, watched him against Muskogee. Now he gets the not taking that from Bishop McGinnis, but He had one good receiver at Bishop McGinnis, but now he got about 10 or 13 different guys he can throw the ball to, and every one of them can take it to the house.
How's Choctaw secondary?
I mean, you saw that clip. What do you think?
You can't take a clip.
I mean, it's a scrimmage, but I mean, you did see some guys.
Gonna get burnt. I mean,
yeah, you did see some guys, get behind the defense and everything like that. But they do have talent in that secondary. You got Austin Hubert back there. He's pretty solid. Track kid. He's fast. He just got to play smarter, which I think that's something that he's probably worked on over the offseason, learning, how to read the receiver and everything like that. I think he's going to be much improved this season. But there's a lot of guys that are just going to be getting their first shot kind of starting. There's going to be a lot of young guys for Choctaw, or a lot of guys that this will be their first time starting in a varsity game, so
I'm really intrigued by that offensive line. I mean those guys are freshmen, sophomores.
Choctaw. They got some younger guys.
They got some younger guys. Coach,
they might have returned one or two linemen, but
yeah, I mean, so I think when you look at that, if you go position, I think Choctaw got two great running backs. The kid that came from Santa Fe, and then the other young man that came, what's his name, that came from Westmoore. Just looking at those guys, man, they got some wiggles. They got a little bit of juice in them, man. If you let those guys get out in space.
That Westmoore kid's a track kid.
Then you let, Juju, another great.
Juju's still there?
Yeah, Juju's still there. He just a junior.
He need a statue in front of him.
And then you look at Will Smith. I'm not talking from Men in Black. I'm talking about Will Smith from Choctaw. Really like that young man. I got a chance to see him on Wednesday, talk to him a little bit.
Good kid.
Good kid. He really is. I know people can say he might be I like the young man. I really do. Very respectful. Every time he sees me, he'll snap me. We'll chop it up. So he's a really good kid. But when you got those type of weapons, can cash or can land and get it to those guys. That's the thing about it. You can have all.
Corbin's kind of smart offense. He'll nickel. He'll small ball you. Little slip screens, little pop passes.
Yep.
That's if Del City can tackle in space. He's going to do the plays to help his quarterback. I see the Guthrie quarterback starting and just run the ball. You have two good backs, probably the top 5-10 backs in the state of Oklahoma. I mean, I don't know what the East has. Slow the game down. I mean, run the ball. He has that little, where you watch the guard, wherever the guard foot goes, you go the opposite direction. That little 15 wide zone, whatever he runs. And that back is good doing that. It's going to be a good game. I don't think because Dale City has, athletes here and there. There's a way to win the game, slow it down. I mean, Corbin's not dumb. He's a smart coach. He's going to do what he's got to do. Just slow it down. He's got, like you said, two good backs. I don't know how mobile that other quarterback is. And then if, you got another quarterback can come in if he needs to.
Yeah.
My thing is Choctaw secondary. Who's going to cover that receiver?
Right.
Damon?
Yes. Because he's the real deal.
I think they're probably going to put number 4 on that receiver.
You ain't going to be able to man him up. You're going to have some over-the-top help.
Well, yeah. You're going to have to have
safety. If you have over-the-top help, who's going to cover that tailback? So
they used to be tailback.
They used to be the OSU tailback. No, I'm
not saying.
Rodney.
I'm sure he's gonna catch some out of the backfield if your safeties get over the top help.
And I tell you,
it's a chess match.
This is probably the best quarterback. I know Reggie ain't gonna want to hear this, but this is probably the best quarterback since old boy that went to Kentucky, Terry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Rubber fan, not just because he goes to Del City, but just his game, man. The kid got a little swagger, man. He kind of, I'm gonna say this a little bit, kind of remind me of Drew Cameron a little bit. I mean, just got the little edge on him, man.
He's been hanging around us brothers. That's what you're trying to
I don't know. I'm not saying that.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying he got a little swag to him. If you watch both quarterbacks from Carl Albert the other night, you didn't really see that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's more because they're in a battle.
Yeah. And maybe so. And this is a talk show. Ain't nobody dogging nobody's kid. Right. I'm just saying I see River with the little swag, but I mean, he's
that's that private school.
Is that what it is? The private school brings it out of you?
The private school.
All right, so you go to private school. But let's get on. What's the next big game, Big E? Because we probably got about 10 more minutes and we'll get out of here.
You got Owasso and Bixby.
Owasso and Bixby.
On Thursday.
I didn't do anything for him. I mean, it might be a good game.
I think Bigsby's trying to find himself. I know everybody was talking about them in Muskogee. I think Owasso got some players, man. They got a couple little backs, man. And think about it, Owasso's going to be big up front. And then you see everybody's trying to go to them little small backs that you can't find them. I'm going to get an edge to Owasso. I think Bigsby lose that game, but I think they find themselves down the road. Yeah, I think Owasso. I think Owasso.
I got big.
But
But that offense, it's not so much.
But
the
we don't know. But I
offense.
mean, Jonah, you can sit there and say, yeah, I got. But Bigsby lost a lot, man. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it matters with that offense. That offense is hard to practice
Here's-
for, game plan for. I mean, you don't know who the hell has the
Bixby's
ball.
like a Carl Albert in the sense they're just gonna reload.
yeah.
I feel.
I
like.
watched that
So-
game. When I watched film with him, I had to watch it like 10 times. I don't even know who has the damn ball.
But I'm picking Owasso on that game.
I got Bixby.
Bixby.
All right, Carl Albert, the Choctaw Dell City game. Who you got?
I think I'm gonna have to
Go
give the
Dale.
edge to Dell City
Dale City.
right now.
Dell City. We got Dell City.
I say
What's
Dell.
the next big one, Big E?
Next
This is where it
big
gets fun.
one.
At we get to pick games. Right now, we're gonna keep track of our who gonna see who. We're gonna give a trophy at the end. Who has the best record?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're
All
gonna see.
right, Sepulpa, Sand Springs. That could be a good one. Sand
I'm
Springs look pretty
I'm
good.
gonna go with Sand Springs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sand
Let's
Springs.
just go with the best game each class.
Each class.
Yeah.
So looks like 5A. We already talked about Death City Choctaw. Carl Albert Coweta.
I
Uh,
think
I got Carl Albert.
I think
Yeah,
Carl Albert's
Carl
gonna.
Albert.
I think Carl Albert's gonna put a show.
Oh,
I don't think.
ain't nobody tackling that.
Uh,
That dude. I don't even want
X-Rob?
to tackle him.
Yeah, I'm
Y'all
telling you.
seen that highlight of him throwing that
Yeah.
Yukon kid?
Hey, I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody trying to get on
Man.
nobody's highlight. Old boy
Yeah.
said he had 150.
I wouldn't even go to school Monday. What was it, number 16?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to school the
He
following
said-
Monday.
Yeah.
He said he had over so many views, man. He said it was crazy the views he's had for that. And I mean,
that's a hell of a
and
highlight.
this thing about it, X Rob. I mean, Coach Don is doing this long enough, man. If you don't need X Rob, I know he got to go. Said he wants to have 3,000 yards and 40 touchdowns.
Keep his limits down.
Like I said, I think X Rob. I think Quita's down. I know they got some guys that moved in, the Grove quarterback and all that, but I don't think you're gonna be able to play with the. This is the only game that Carl Albert lost. I mean, besides Muskogee, is the only game that that they lost in 5A. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna be out for revenge. So I'm gonna pick Carl Albert
Oh,
to
yeah.
beat them 45-10.
45 to
I
10.
ain't got it close. I'll feed
Yeah.
X-Rob,
Feed him.
feed him the first quarter.
You can
second
throw it
quarter.
up to Trinae.
Elijah Williams gets his first.
Right, I'll feed him first quarter and come out at halftime and then take him out. And
Elijah Williams, y'all heard it first. Keep it 100. He gets his first high school touchdown next Friday night.
running or catching.
He gonna get both. He gonna
No,
get
the
one.
first one. Which one?
First one's gonna be run. He gonna break a
Oh.
45-yarder.
45. All right.
All right, who we got next?
4A. There's a couple. Bethany and Jones has potential to be a good game.
Jones.
Yeah, I gotta take Jones, and then
I think
let's
Bethany
see,
lost- I think
Weatherford,
Bethany lost too much.
Newcastle.
Newcastle. I think Newcastle's the team in what is that 4A? I
Yep.
think Newcastle's the team in 4A. I know you got what
Really?
Tuttle. Is Tuttle 4A? Or
Toro's 4A. Yeah.
I think
Who's
Newcastle,
Tuttle?
man.
Shout out
Newcastle.
to Total. I got a cousin that plays out there.
That
So
look pretty good.
Yeah, but I just saying Newcastle got some players too, though. So I mean, I'm just saying right now. But I know they're not playing each other. But I'm picking Newcastle this game. Who's
yeah.
next?
3A. What do we got? Holland Hall, Lincoln Christian,
Oh man,
and then you got Castle Hall versus Victory Christian. So
What is
those are-
it's a bunch of the halls in the.
What is Heritage Hall in?
Heritage Hall? They're in 3A. Well, they should.
Oh, they're
I
not
don't think they have a week
Yeah,
0
we're in
game.
Week 0. These are all week 0 games.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
week 0, and
Uh,
then which I think some of these might be scrimmages too. So yeah, sometimes they'll have scrimmages listed on here if something like that's going on, and then 2A. Let's see,
I know nothing in this.
2A. I gotta look around here. Oh, Jones is a 2A team. They're playing Bethany, which is a 4A.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I don't know.
Well, like I said, I think it's a great show, man. We had 2 great coaches on. I think each week we'll have a coach or either a coach or a player on. Like I said, there's a lot of kids I think don't get recognized that should get recognized. I think Coach Don's in a good situation. I think Coach Robert's in a good situation. We got to get my Memphis City Bombers on here, man. I think the Bombers going to be a team that you got to watch out for. I think Lod Mac. I think Lod Mac's going to be a team that looking at some of these teams from a few years back and the other night getting to watch that scrimmage, we got to see a lot of things up close, man. And there's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good things, good. And there's a lot of good things, but a lot of these coaches know what they're doing, man. They know where to put kids. I think. The state championship you want to see Carl Albert versus Dell City. I think both teams is going to have to get their depth up. You know, I mean, you know,
Caliber for sure.
Yeah, you know, you see a big drop off from 1s to 2s to 3s, a big time drop off. But the more experience you get, and think about it, when they're blowing people away, these kids getting to get a chance and get in the game, and you're gonna make a mistake, man. I don't care who you are, how good you are. I don't care if you're Sperry, if you're Cash, if you're X-Rob, or you're gonna drop a ball, you're gonna fumble a ball, you're gonna throw interceptions. So guys, when y'all do that, man, just shake it off and get the next play. I'm trying to teach my own daughter that, man. Get that off your face and move on, because when you carry that on your face, man, I mean, college coaches are looking at that. So I'm looking forward to the 2020-2023 season, kickoff of high school football. Like I said, we got the helmets on the table, and right now, folks, our job gets tough. We just rocking and rolling. I saw you and Jonah looking at my shirt.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that bond.
You know, folks, get out on 10/10. 2023 and go vote for the bond, man, to help the Middale schools out, man, to help their, you know, if you can see some of these schools is ran down and
oh man, yes, they need to start over.
I mean,
compared
that's,
to the West.
Yes, and that's what it is.
Or the you know what I'm saying, the East.
Tulsa side, but this bond will help all three Middale high school teams out: Carl Albert, Dale City, and Midwest City. If you can see, Midwest City's already kind of upgraded their football and stadium, but I think Dale City and they need it really bad. All three schools with this bond will help them have indoor facilities. Not only does this indoor facilities help not football, basketball, track, golf, whatever sport you have, but it also helped the band too. When it's cold outside, they want to play that trumpet and play those drums, they can go inside these indoor facilities and do the things they need to do. So, folks, this bond's very important, man. I love for my daughter to have a indoor facility when she can go train and do her workouts and things that she needs. So, get out and vote for the bond. You see what it's doing over at Choctaw, the nice things they got. It's also going to bring each school their own scoreboard, and so you can see the game replays. And I think if we're trying to keep up with the Tulsa side and we're trying to keep up with Texas, and as you can see, we got kids moving to Oklahoma from Texas now. So if we want to keep up with the big boys, we got to go play with the big boys. So go out, support this bond, Middale. You know, if we don't get it, it's because you didn't go out and vote. So keep it 100. Anything else, folks, before we close this up?
No. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Keep It 100. Football season is in full swing now, so you know, you got games being played this weekend, and you know, I think we still want to upload football videos on Fridays before the games. Or?
Yes. We
right.
should have everything up
Friday morning.
HR, Jessica, everything should be going to the website. Everything should be currently updated in the next few days. You'll see us on the sideline with our OSA passes. You know, we might come to get a little small interview. You know, it's like I said, we're going to reach out to coaches. I'm really tickled that Coach Bryant came on. I'm a big fan of Coach Bryant. I know he comes to watch my son wrestles here and there, but just a really good guy, man. I'm just glad he gave us some of his time. And so we'd like to get coaches, you know, like we've had Coach Don, we've had Coach Jones on. I'm looking forward to getting Birdman on before that Carl Albert week 3, so I'll be reaching out to Bird. I know he'll come on, a really good young man, well-spoken. His dad's a good guy, so looking forward to having him on and then get ready for that Carl Albert game. But, folks, like you said, stay tuned. We'll upload some videos, pictures, and all those things, and make sure it's right, man. It's good to see me and Jonah got to see a lot of the guys out the other night at the you know, got to see Jackson. Got to see the man from was it OK Prep?
Or you Oklahoma Sports Network? Was that it?
No, the guy that came on did the classes with us for the tournament. The OK Prep guy.
Oh, okay. I forget his name, but
Red Zone or something?
Yeah, Red Zone.
Prep
yeah,
Red Zone.
Yeah, Prep Red Zone. So got a chance to see it. So that's what happens when you got a Division I quarterback and everybody that's going to sign with OU. You had all kind of OU beat writers out there, man. But hey, you know, we're out there too with them. You know, I'm not gonna. Every one of them sent the same picture video of him stiff arming, and then me and Jonah's right there next to it. But hey, do your thing, man. Like I said, be looking forward to working with some of these guys, man. So we'll see you next week on what?
Keep it 100, Oklahoma High School Sports.
See ya.
I gotta keep it 100. My man keep it 100. My ladies keep it 100.